Namaskar. Welcome to IMD. I, Dr. Trishana Banik, welcome you all to the weekly weather review and outlook for the next 2 weeks. And also, I would like to take the opportunity to wish you a happy and colorful Diwali. So let's start the discussion. So today I'm going to explain you what was the weather condition for the last 1 week, what is the weather condition for today, and what will going to happen for the next 2 weeks. So let's start the discussion with the synoptic features during the last week. You can clearly see the animation. What is the present situation over there, over the whole India and its neighboring region. You can clearly see through the animation. And the most important weather activity that persisted during the last week was the low pressure area over southwest Bay of Bengal and adjoining Sri Lanka off Tamil Nadu coast. The system developed during the 4th week of October and is still persisting over the Arabian Sea here. You can see. And even last week also IMD predicted its slow southwestward movement, and it happened. During 2nd November, the system re-emerged over Arabian Sea and was situated near the Comorin and its neighboring region. The associated cyclonic circulation during 29th of October goes up to the 3.9 kilometer above mean sea level, and presently that cyclonic circulation goes up to 4.5 kilometers from the mean sea level. And we also observed a strong easterly during this time. And the trough associated with these easterly starts from the low pressure area and goes towards the coast of the Andhra Pradesh, towards the north western part of the Bay of Bengal. And further it moves toward the Comorin area like this. And presently the trough lies over that region and it extends up to the northeastern part of the Arabian Sea. And also apart from this, a feeble or weak western disturbance was also observed. During 29th of October, we noticed the western disturbance, the trough of this western disturbance was existed over the Pakistan and Afghanistan area that further moved toward the India, and presently it lies over Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir region. You can clearly see that. So these are the plots of INSET 3D. This is the thermal infrared imageries where you can clearly see the clouds. You can see this is the animation for the last 1 week, and this right panel represents the IMD observed rainfall for the last 1 week, same time period. And you can clearly see that how the clouds invades toward the Bay of Bengal from maritime continent and pass through the peninsular India and re-emerge over the Bay of over the Arabian Sea. And due to this system, the most part of the peninsular India, specifically the coastal Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and even the Orissa region also, like Gopalpur and Kerala, few places over Rayalaseema, received heavy to variable amount of rainfall. You can clearly see through this animation from satellite as well as from the observed rainfall. Now, if we move toward the quantitative manner, each day-wise rainfall information, you can clearly see the places where we received a significant amount of rainfall is marked through the red color. The place like Nagapattinam received 12 centimeters of rainfall during 29th of October. During 30 October, the place Thoothukudi received 18 centimeters of rainfall, and all other stations then you can clearly see. And during 31st October and 1st November also, you can see few places where good amount of rainfall we observed. During 2nd November, the place called Villupuram received 20 centimeters of rainfall, which lies over the Mat subdivision, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Karikal. And during 3rd November, the Tanjavur received 17 centimeters of rainfall. So now let's talk about the subdivision of rainfall map for the last 1 week as well as for the whole month, like October, 1st October up to the 3rd November. What was the rainfall situation? You can clearly see through this plot. So you can clearly see for the last week, most part of the India received deficient of rainfall. The deficient of rainfall represented by the orange, yellow colors. So you can see the places where the yellow colors lies and the places where the orange color lies. Most of the part of the India received no rain which is represented by the white color, are deficient of rainfall. And few places over the peninsular India receive normal access and large access of rainfall, which is due to the active phase of the northeast monsoon, as well as the system that is presently persisting over the Arabian Sea, which developed over the Bay of Bengal, due to which the peninsular India received a good amount of rainfall. If you look at the table here, you can clearly see most part of the India received a deficient of rainfall, but South Peninsula received 42% of departure of the positive anomaly with respect to the long period average of rainfall. And if you look at the whole country, you can see whole country rainfall is normal one, even if the most part of the country don't receive that much of rainfall and deficient of rainfall is there, but peninsular India received a good amount of rainfall. As a matter of fact, whole India received a normal rainfall. But if you look at the whole October month up to the 3rd November, you can see all India, most part of the India received a large excess amount of rainfall. You can clearly see that. Now, if we talk about the temperature anomaly for the last 1 week, you can see the maximum temperature here. This is the minimum temperature plot, and this is the mean temperature plot. You can clearly see with respect to the maximum temperature, the bottom plot, this one is representing the maximum temperature anomaly. You can clearly see the places like Jammu Kashmir, the Rajasthan, the adjoining central India, then the Tamil Nadu region. Those are the places where we can notice the negative temperature anomaly with respect to the maximum temperature. So, and some of the places like here, the Northeast India shows the positive temperature anomaly with respect to the max temperature. And if you look at the minimum temperature and its anomaly, you can clearly see the central part of India shows the negative temperature anomaly, and the region like here, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, coastal Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, not Tamil Nadu, partial part of the Tamil Nadu receive a shows the positive temperature anomaly with respect to the minimum temperature. And also over the Northeast India like Manipur, Mizoram, partially Tripura also shows positive temperature anomaly. Now, if you look at the mean temperature as a whole, you can see the Odisha and Chhattisgarh along with South Karnataka, few parts like Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura shows positive temperature anomaly, whereas the central India, J&K and partial part of Rajasthan, Gujarat shows negative temperature anomaly with respect to the mean temperature. Now, what is the current day synoptic situation of the weather? As I already mentioned you that a system, a low pressure system is already persisting, and we are expecting that this system is going to be more marked within the next 48 hours. But the possibility to become a cyclone is very less for this system. And also, we noticed a cyclonic circulation further developed over the southwest and adjoining west central Bay of Bengal of North Tamil Nadu and South Andhra Pradesh coast. You can clearly see that. And the cyclonic circulation associated with this system goes 3.1 kilometers above the mean sea level. Another important weather phenomenon that happened today is the season first fog event. Delhi NCR and also the IGI, Palam and Safdarjung airport, both the airport reported poor visibility with significant reduction of the visible range that goes up to the 600 to 800 meter only. And this happened due to the increment of the relative humidity and the reduction of the wind speed. And we are expecting that this situation may persist up to the 6th November, and thereafter the situation may improve. Now let's talk about the next 7 days weather forecast. This is the IMD global forecast model generated weather forecast. And you can clearly see that, as I already mentioned you, that there is an active system over the Arabian Sea, and we are expecting that this system is going to be more marked within the next 48 hours. But the chances to become to become a cyclonic storm is very less for this system. And we are also expecting another low pressure system over the over the Bay of Bengal here. And due to these both systems, we are expecting a good amount of rainfall over the peninsular India. And we can expect that this is one of the active phase of the northeast monsoon, due to which this kind of systems are forming over this region, and peninsular India is receiving a good amount of rainfall. Now let's talk about the weather warning for the next 5 days. Here, IMD generated the next 5 days weather warning in 4 different colors normally. Like no warning is representing by the green color. If there is a yellow warning, means the people over that region need to be updated with the weather information. If it is an orange warning, means you have to be prepared for any kind of adverse situation. And if this is a red warning, then this is the right time to take action. So if you look at the plots here from 4th November up to the 8th November, you can clearly see most part of the India, like northeastern India, northern India, central India, and western India has no warning. But as I already mentioned, there is an active system over the Arabian Sea, which will going to be more marked within the next 48 hours. And there is another chance to formation of a low pressure system over the Bay of Bengal, due to which we are expecting a good amount of rainfall over the peninsular India. You can see the alert through the yellow and orange warning. And from 5th November onward up to the 8th November, you can see yellow warning is given over the peninsular India for this system. Now, if we talk about the cyclogenesis outlook for the next 2 weeks, this plot is basically generated from the IMD extended range forecast model. You can see in the week 1 from 5 to 11 November, the system that is presently active over the Arabian Sea is going to be more marked in coming 48 hours. But the chances, as I already mentioned, to become a cyclonic storm is very less for this system. And in week 2, we are expecting another system, low pressure system over the Bay of Bengal. For these 2 systems, we are expecting a good amount of rainfall over the peninsular India. And you can, over this plot, in the right hand side also, you can see the probability of cyclogenesis, and which is showing the very low probability for the formation of the active cyclone for this presently active circulation over the Arabian Sea. Now let's talk about the extended range rainfall forecast for the next 2 weeks. As I already mentioned, that over the Arabian Sea, an active system is there, due to which you can clearly see that western coast of India will going to receive a good amount of rainfall. And if you look at the anomaly plot with respect to the long period average, you can clearly see that western coast of India receive a positive rainfall anomaly. Whereas in the week 2, we are expecting another system will going to form over the Bay of Bengal, due to which we are expecting a good amount of rainfall in the eastern coast of India. You can clearly see through this figure. As we all know that winter is approaching, so we have to be ready with the temperature information. So in this plot, we are representing the temperature, max temperature anomaly, and the bottom panel represent the mean temperature anomaly. So what does it anomaly mean? Here, when you take the long-term average over the India, you will get some temperature value for the each region. Now, suppose for this week 1, if any of the region get the temperature more than the long-term average, then we call it as a positive anomaly. And if any region receive or experience the less temperature than the long-term average, then we call it as a negative anomaly. So with respect to that thing, if you look at week 1, we notice most of the part of India will going to experience the negative temperature anomaly because the color is in the negative portion. And if you look at few places over the extreme northern side of the Jammu Kashmir and Odisha Chhattisgarh region, and also in the South Karnataka region, and also a few places over the northeastern part of India, it shows positive temperature anomaly with respect to the max temperature. And if you look at the week 2, you can see the same region of the Jammu Kashmir and the Odisha region, Chhattisgarh region, and South Karnataka region shows the positive temperature anomaly. Now, if you look at the mean temperature anomaly for the week 1, most part is showing negative temperature anomaly except South and South Interior Karnataka, and few places of Maharashtra is showing the positive temperature anomaly. And if you look at the week 2, similarly few places over the J&K northeastern India, Karnataka, and south interior Karnataka is showing positive anomaly. I already explained you about the what were the weather for the last 7 days and what will going to happen for the next 15 days. If we talk about the summary, the most important feature is the presently active systems over the Arabian Sea, which is going to be more marked in the next 48 hours. And also we are observing another low pressure systems near the Andhra Pradesh coast over the Bay of Bengal. And in week 2, we are also expecting another low pressure area over the Bay of Bengal. Now, due to these systems, we are expecting a heavy to very heavy amount of rainfall over the peninsular India. And this is one of the most active phase of the southeast monsoon, due to which all these depression kind of phenomena are persisting. And peninsular India, including the west coast of India and east coast of India, is experiencing and also going to experience the heavy to very heavy amount of rainfall. Now, if we talk about the minimum and maximum temperature anomaly, we already noticed that we are expecting that most of part of the India will going to experience the negative temperature anomaly, except few parts over the northeast India, few pockets, and also few places over the Orissa and Chhattisgarh and also south Karnataka. Those are the places where we notice the positive temperature anomaly. So that's all about the weather. Apart from this we from IMD, we have few apps through which you can get different information. Like we have Mausam app, and which helps for the location specific forecast and warning. We have the Damini app, through which you will get the lightning location information. If you need the Agromat advisory services, you can go for the Magdoot app. And all these apps are available for the Android as well as the iOS platform. Please check those apps. And also you can follow in Twitter and Instagram handle of IMD, and also subscribe our IMD channel for any kind of latest updates related to the weather. So please stay tuned with the IMD. Thank you. Once again, I wish you all a happy and colorful Diwali. Thank you. Namaste.